What if a single word could change the fate of the world? That's exactly what happened in Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. A simple name. Martha turned the most brutal clash between two heroes into a moment of humanity no one expected. But what was behind this scene so controversial and debated to this day? Why did this detail become the turning point in the Clash of Giants? On one side, the Dark Knight, a Batman hardened by time, traumatized by loss, and driven by a sense of justice that grew darker every day. On the other, the Man of Steel, a Superman whom, even while trying to be a symbol of hope, was seen as an almost divine threat. The clash was inevitable, and when they finally faced off, it wasn't just a physical battle. It was ideology versus ideology, fear versus hope, hatred versus compassion. The duel was intense. Punches that shattered concrete, explosions that shook the night, glares filled with fury. Every strike seemed to echo not only through the setting, but through the soul of those watching. Batman was about to achieve what he wanted, to end Superman. But then the unexpected happened. Just as the kryptonite spear was aimed at the Kryptonian's heart, Superman, gasping, managed to say, "Save ... Martha ... A heavy silence took over the scene. Batman froze. The name echoed in his mind like a ghost from the past. Martha, the same name as his mother, murdered before his eyes when he was just a child. Suddenly, that alien being he saw as a tyrant god became human. A son, desperate to save his mother. In that moment, Batman's armor wasn't made of metal, but of pain. The memory of little Bruce kneeling between his parents' bodies hit back hard like an invisible punch. He no longer saw Superman as an enemy, but as a reflection. Two men broken by the same fear, losing those they loved. That's why this scene, though mocked and criticized, carries enormous emotional weight. It's not about a coincidence of names, but about the purest connection there is, the pain that makes us equal. And since we're talking about epic scenes, imagine watching this moment on a massive screen, feeling every detail as if you were there. That S, where the TCL 98 4K TV comes in, a true technological wall in your living room, crystal clear image, vibrant colors, an absurd size that turns any movie into cinema. It is like Batman-esque punch coming straight at you and Superman-esque gaze piercing across the room. If you're going to relive epic emotions, nothing beats a screen this size. Back to the film. After the shock of that revelation, Batman drops the spear. For the first time, he sees Clark not as an alien, but as a man with family, with vulnerabilities. Hatred gives way to compassion, and what could have been the end becomes the beginning of an alliance. From that point forward, it's no longer Batman versus Superman. It's Batman and Superman against a common enemy. This twist shows something powerful. Heroes aren't defined only by strength, but by the ability to recognize humanity even in the darkest moments. Martha stopped being just a name. It became a symbol, a reminder that behind masks, armor, and powers, there are people with fears, with traumas, with bonds that make them human. And maybe that's what Zack Snyder wanted to show, that humanity is stronger than any war. Years later, we still discuss this moment. For some, it's a flaw in the script. For others, it's one of the film's brightest points. But the fact is, no one stayed indifferent. And isn't that the role of art? To make us think, provoke, divide opinions, but never go unnoticed. Martha became a meme, but also a reflection, a reminder that empathy can stop battles, even when they seem inevitable. So next time you watch that scene, maybe you'll realize it wasn't just a coincidence of names. It was a human cry in the middle of chaos. A bridge built with a single word. And here is the question that still echoes today. If even gods can recognize themselves in human pain, what's left of us when we choose to ignore that connection?